I know, Joe. I didn't know they had so many emojis either, which just makes me so happy.
We're going with Vanessa McCaffrey. I have direct message you, Vanessa. You'll send us an email. We'll get you the gift card right away.
Awesome. So this is so exciting, Luke. Let's get down to the show business, huh? This party is just getting started and we have the perfect guest to kick it all off. We are extremely excited to have our CUR president, Dr. Ruth J. Palmer, here with us today. Ruth has gotten comfortable, or at least used to, being in front of the camera this year with her frequently taped interviews of CUR Presidents Quarterly, so I have no doubt she will shine as bright as her smile at this ceremony.
That's right. Ruth's year of presidency concludes at the end of this month, but not before we literally drag her to all the events we could think of. Today's award ceremony. We have our upcoming annual business meeting that starts tomorrow. We got the virtual portion of our largest event for the community, Connect CUR, which kicks off at the end of next week. And then she'll pass off her baton to the incoming president in Pittsburgh for the in-person part of our conference, Connect CUR conference, starting on June 26th. And that's just the commitments she's made this month. You should have seen what we dragged her into all year long.
Yes, Ruth has led this undergraduate research community through yet another successful year, and still with twists, turns, and curves, she continued to maintain a powerful speed and help unite the thousands of faculty, mentors, and administrators, postdoctoral scholars, student graduates, and staff here at CUR and in our community. Much like these awardees that we are honoring today, Ruth's dedication and commitment to undergraduate research surpasses the endless nights and long days of engaging with the community and her volunteer commitment as president to CUR. We are thankful to be led by her and our board of directors and are grateful she has agreed to be yet again on camera welcoming you all to the 2023 CUR Award celebration ceremony. So please put your hands together and raise those glasses for our CUR president, Dr. Ruth J. Palmer.
Okay, and I'll put my hand and raise all my praises for everybody who's present. Thank you, Elizabeth. And everybody, welcome to the celebration. It's not often that we could get together and make good lemonade and real good drinks out of just being together virtually and or otherwise. I try to make sense of the virtual meetings all the time and of virtual celebrations. So just let me share with you some of the thoughts that I have as we think about the celebration. I keep thinking about the 5 years of our strategic plan. Make sure I get the years correct. Year 20 to year 25. So here is year 2023. So we're sitting right in the center of the 5-year of our strategic plan. And it's amazing how that's our block of time for which we must be accountable for the things that we have done, are doing, and plan to do. So as I sit in the middle of this 5-year period, I always think, wow, there are 2 more years to go. There is still more work to be done, but there is always a pause for celebration. June is a good time to celebrate, although in my life recently, time has been so disappearing for me that I am wondering, do I have to borrow some more time to bring my presidency through to CUR a little bit longer? Not to be cheating on anybody coming in, but just that racing to the finish line. This is like the Ironman run that I'm taking here. And I keep thinking that, this year, as it's disappearing and we are looking to another year, I listen to the music and I keep saying, we need a celebration now. A celebration of the year, a celebration of these first 3 years of 5, but a celebration for courage to take on the next 2 until we start doing our strategic plan again for 5 more, 10 more, 15 more, 50 more probably. So for today, Not much talking from me other than to say, welcome, let's celebrate, let's hold very tight with any kind of hug that we can give and emojis that we can send to say to all the folks we are celebrating, congratulations and best wishes. I'm getting off the stage so that the celebration can continue. Welcome everybody, let's enjoy.
Welcome to the CUR Award Celebration. We are excited to celebrate the many award recipients who have dedicated their lives and unleashed their passion for undergraduate research, scholarship, and creative inquiry. Sit back and relax as we start this celebration.
Can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Yeah. Oh. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the line. Yeah. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Oh. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten.
It would be better if I unmuted myself, right? So that always gives me such chills. One, I love that song. It reminds me of just happiness in general. But two, Todd and I are here. My name is Elizabeth Morris, and I am the Director of Brand Engagement from CUR.
Now I have to find my unmute button. I'm Todd Wagner. I'm a communications and content manager for CUR.
And together we are going to be your MCs today. Thank you so much, Ruth, for your great introduction and your welcome into our CUR celebration. We normally do this in the spring this year, and we decided to do it in June. And to be honest, we have so much going on, just as what we had said with what we're dragging Ruth to all the time. So I'm so happy that everybody could make it here and to celebrate these amazing achievements of these awardees and the recipients. So we're going to kick it off with some fun games because Todd and I love to play games. So get yourselves ready, open up that chat, and we're going to play some trivia, starting off with our wonderful 2022 ARA recipient, Norwich University. So the way we're going to play it today is we're going to use the chat box, and you can put your answer into the chat box for these two trivia questions, and we will grab two winners who answer each question correctly. They'll be contacted via private message to receive their Amazon gift card. And the first question is, Norwich University was the birthplace of ROTC and was the first private institution in the country to teach what discipline? A, civil engineering, B, partying, C, biochemistry, or D, culinary arts. Can you see who made these choices? If anybody but puts B, I mean, we'll be best.
No.
All right, and the answer is A. I see so many people got it right. Among the description of offering to students in 1820 was civil engineering, including the construction of roads, canals, locks, and bridges. Norwich University was the first private school in the United States where students were taught engineering as a separate branch of education, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Todd, are you taking who's you got? Okay, awesome, great. So the next question is, Norwich University was with a nearly 2,600 campus student population and over 1,400 online student population, holds what could be arguably the best school motto according to the Washington Post. And what is it? If life gives you lemons. B, education for citizenship. C, truth and light will lead the way. And D, I will try. Amy, I want my motto to be that too. If life gives you lemons.
I will try.
Yeah, that was cheating. Good job, Sarah. No cheating here, Amy. You can't tell people what it actually is. All right, the answer to the question is, as Amy pointed out, D, I will try. And I know that many of the faculty, staff, administrators, and mentors from Norwich are on this call. I'm going to just tell you that when I was looking at this, I did a QR code to this article that was written because this motto was so confusing to me. The whole background, there was like tons of people who were saying this history was this, and then it was switched to this, and then it was that. So I think it was a really interesting story. Luke, if you can share that screen one more time so people can take their QR code and go to that. It's really fun, and it just was too much to fit on my slide, to be honest. But it was a lot, and to understand, how it started off with, I will try, really goes to what their university is all about. So awesome. Okay. As a primary undergraduate institution, Norwich University's 200-year-old mission centralizes leadership and experiential learning, putting the undergraduate research at the heart of this campus's culture. Norwich is a diversified academics institution that educates traditional age students and adults in the Corps of Cadets and as civilians. Norwich offers a broad selection of traditional and distance learning programs, culminating in baccalaureate and graduate degrees. This university was founded in 1819 by Captain Alden Partridge of the U.S. Army and is the oldest private military college in America. Norwich is one of our nation's 6 senior military colleges and the birthplace of the Reserves Officers Training Corps, also known as ROTC. Let's take a few minutes to listen in about how our 2022 AURA awardee, Norwich University, transformed undergraduate research and the impact and inspiration their program exudes onto their many undergraduate researchers from all disciplines.
I am really interested in understanding why people do what they do.
It's a question that
and
once you're asked
on a broader scale.
I'm really curious about the dichotomy of bringing those rural practices.
I'm really curious about what is this going to look like in like 10 years, in 20 years.
So the mission of our program is transforming students into scholars. And what that means is that we want to empower students at every stage of the research process,
helping students build the skills that they need to go from consumers of knowledge to individuals who can create knowledge for themselves.
Truthfully, I've never had actual research experience. My initial question was, how does storytelling create the human experience? And I was told it was too vague. And so I chose Godzilla and Godzilla's relationship to the Japanese people. Creatively, how did they manage to cope with the bombings. And as someone who does storytelling, why don't I put in my comic making abilities to execute this project? Why don't I visually show that to show what it meant to me personally?
So I look at specifically the relationship between development assistance and how it translates to growth in human development. I analyzed a bunch of data. I like to think of it as little Lego blocks. They seem insignificant, and then you get to step back and you get to see the entire creation and the way that they all fit together. It's an amazing feeling.
I wanted to do something in the field of biology. My end goal is to get a PhD in something that is related to computer science, biology, and chemistry. So we studied pitcher plant and mold herbivory. It was amazing.
The most exciting part of the undergraduate research was being able to take this lead on my own. I approached this research to learn about urban agriculture, and specifically I was looking into vertical farms and rooftop gardens to see if adding that fresh food into a city could help eliminate food deserts. This could be a life-saving thing for a good portion of the world.
The title for my work is Representation of Afghan Women in Western Media. To read an article that talks about Afghan women was fascinating to me. It's like there's a whole another level of information that I feel like the literature is missing. Because yes, the blue veil does cover you, but it does not, you don't disappear all of a sudden because of it.
The research question that we had was, can a peptide, can you make it have a rapid conformational switch? Go from linear, just like a line, to cyclic in a circle and go back and forth. See, how could that relate to the medical field as I'm working towards being a doctor? This could help with development of therapeutic agents, with biosensors and diagnostic tools. I think this will help me for my future, understanding a different part of the medical field. You just get to step into something new.
It was 2007, the groundwork was laid to create an Office of Undergraduate Research. I was approached if I would be the first Associate Vice President for Research. That year, we were able to fund 2 undergraduate research fellowships. We had a NASA grant that was funding 2 students, so we had 4 students on campus doing undergraduate research, and that was the beginning. There was no question that the presence of students who had had the experience outside the classroom, intensely engaged in original inquiry, were bringing the whole class up.
Absolute best part of undergraduate research is the community. And I think one of the ways that we do this really well is by having students get together, have these brown bag lunch discussions, especially with the summer researchers, and they get to hear from each other, and then they see how other people think about their topic. And so that collaborative environment demonstrates the way that scholarship is not just an individual pursuit, but it's about community. Undergraduate research is not just transformative for students, but it's also transformative for faculty.
This past summer was my first summer working with the undergraduate research program and working with a research apprentice. So I worked with Ash. We spent the summer looking for evidence of moth herbivory on local pitcher plants. Working with an undergraduate research apprentice has allowed me to start to build a little bit of a research program that I can then incorporate some of my courses. And it gives me also an extra opportunity to learn how to teach, because it's a different type of teaching to work one-on-one with a student than it is to work with a class.
We've developed a scaffolded approach to student involvement, which guides students through the process of research. Students can pitch an idea at the Students to Scholars Symposium to get feedback and direction for a future project. They can work alongside a faculty member as an apprentice to a project that is already in progress and to learn a specific research task or tool. And finally, they can apply to conduct their own independent research project over the summer as part of the Summer Research Fellowship Program. Our opportunities and events over the course of a year demonstrate the value of the research process and allow students to try out ideas, learn from their faculty mentors, and execute full-scale projects of their own design. So we've made our program accessible to all students at all levels of their academic careers. We have no minimum GPA requirements because we want to be able to provide opportunities for anyone at any level. We also have that scaffolded approach, which allows for students at any stage in their career to start from the beginning, but also provides opportunities for students who come late to research to get involved at any stage of that process.
And they don't think about themselves as actively participating in that process of creating knowledge. until they do research. And when they do research, they realize that they are creators of knowledge too, or at least they can be. If they work really hard and they ask really good questions, they can be part of that process of increasing what we know about the world.
The architect Walter Gropius said that the true aim of all education is to encourage enthusiasm toward greater effort. And I think that greater effort is what drives innovation.
This is my research project, this is what I did, and this is what I created.
Something totally new. It just gives me a really good feeling.
Oh my God, there's this new piece of information. This is groundbreaking.
Wow, okay, do these things work? Can I put them together so that they'll do something successfully?
Only by studying that negative effect, I'll be able to do something positive with it.
It's the voices that make a movement, and a movement that brings change.
When we can learn more about the world around us, that can help us with different problems.
Any amount of research, whether it is small or large, adds to this social evolution that we're experiencing as humans.
I still cannot say what the change is going to be, but I know it will change something.
It's just fun to know more things.
Because there's so much out there that I can't wait to explore more.
They're going to have to figure stuff out that the answer isn't in a book, and the answer is not in a journal, and it's not on the web. They're going to find a new way that nobody's ever seen before, right? And that's what this whole endeavor is all about.
Well, thank you, Norwich University. That's truly inspiring. Congratulations on being the 2002 award winner. We're going to move next into our next award, which is the 2023 CUR Goldwater Scholar Faculty Mentor Awardee, who is Dr. Fuchs. And once again, we're going to begin with 2 trivia questions. So if you'll get your chat open, and anyone can answer to win our Amazon gift cards, except for potentially Dr. Fuchs. You probably already know the answers to these. So, trivia question number 1 is, the Barry Goldwater Scholarship and Excellence in Education Foundation was established by Congress in what year to honor Senator Barry Goldwater? A, 1996, B, 1971, C, 1986, or D, 1991? Put your answers into the chat now.
You know what's so crazy, Todd, is we made these trivia questions and I actually don't know the answer. I'm sitting here like, what could it be?
Well, it looks like a lot of the chat has it correct. The answer is C, 1986. Senator Barry Goldwater served his country for 56 years as a soldier and statesman, including 30 years of service in the U.S. Senate. The purpose of the foundation is to provide a continuing source of highly qualified scientists, mathematicians, and engineers by awarding scholarships to college students who intended to pursue research careers in those disciplines. And CUR wanted to extend the appreciation for those mentors who helped these scholarly students along the way, and thus started their partnership with awarding their first joint award back in 2014. All right, get ready. Here comes question number 2. Dr. Janin Fuchs has mentored over 184 students, of which how many have become Goldwater Scholars? A, 1, B, 10, C, 5, or D, 7? Put your answers into the chat now. Seeing a good range of questions, but most of you are correct. The answer is B, 10 students.
Wow.
Pretty impressive indeed. Dr. Janin Fuchs, professor in the University of North Texas Department of Biological Sciences, has been selected as the 2023 Council on Undergraduate Research's Goldwater Scholar Faculty Mentor Awardee. Dr. Fuchs believes that her calling was mentoring undergraduate researchers. She believes that each student brings a unique constellation of backgrounds, goals, abilities, and personalities to the table. And it's a mentor's job to get in tune with each of the students to establish rapport and to make their journey of discovery engaging. Thus, with her 38 years as a faculty member, Fuchs has mentored over 184 students, of which 10 have become Goldwater Scholars, including 7 that have based their research essays on work they did in her laboratory. Through her great leadership comes inspiration. Let's take a minute now to listen in on a few words from Dr. Janin Fuchs.
I am honored to receive the CUR Goldwater Scholars Faculty Mentor Award. It is a tribute to the value of undergraduate research and to the mentors who guide them in experiencing the nature of research and the joy of discovery. Undergraduate brains are going through a critical period when the number of synaptic connections actually plummets. Not because we're doing a bad job. With the transition to adulthood, pruning of synapses sets aside what is not so relevant anymore and clears the stage for new ones as students discover their identities and passions, develop their talents, and set goals for their future. This is a perfect time to offer opportunities for students to engage in research. And there aren't many STEM researchers who did no undergraduate research. Today's undergraduates really are tomorrow's discoverers and innovators. With the climate crisis comes big problems to solve, and we urgently need superb researchers in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, math. Students who demonstrate outstanding potential in these areas become Goldwater Scholars. This honor offers a path to leadership in research. On the other hand, not all undergraduates continue with research as a career, but they are trained in how to evaluate evidence. The ability to evaluate evidence is called upon in making good decisions as doctors, voters, teachers, parents, leaders. But do we really need mentors? If 10,000 students do projects in their parents' garage, won't one of them develop a better solar panel or a treatment for cancer? Not likely. Today's research depends on advanced technologies, and researchers stand on the shoulders of the many who leave a plethora of publications. It can take years to sort through it all and gain the expertise to develop really meaningful projects that are doable with available resources. Mentors give their time, expertise, and resources, even though many universities still offer surprisingly little support for mentoring undergraduates. So why do we do it? Well, it is a calling. It is also gratifying and interesting. And because research runs on continuous cycles of learning and teaching. My graduate students mentor undergraduates as part of graduate training. The undergraduates themselves take pride in teaching newcomers. Each year, thousands of Goldwater applications are written but not chosen. Yet these students also win because of how much they learn in pursuing the goal. It may be a bit similar for mentors. For me, just the honor of being nominated and the application process brought into focus how and why I got to this point. My undergraduate years were something like paradise, new synapses, doing research, planning an adventurous life. What I was not prepared for were the potholes and boulders that women would have to navigate around. Didn't generations of women make sacrifices to pave the way for us? Absolutely. So are we there yet? Well, let's count the number of women presidents the US has had lately. And for those working in STEM fields, women are paid 76% of what men are paid. Inequities have a way of snowballing during a career. We have to keep chipping away at the many forms of discrimination that narrow the talent pool and undermine our work as educators. Persistence is good. Despite the hazardous roads, I met amazing individuals from all walks of life and worked with excellent scientists. It does take an extended village to raise a research mentor. I'm indebted to the many villagers who supported and inspired my journey, and that includes family, friends, mentors and students, colleagues and institutions. And special appreciation goes to the CUR and Goldwater organizations for being part of the village and supporting it in so many ways. Thank you all.
Wow, let's give a round of applause to Dr. Jan Fuchs. That was amazing. Those words are inspiring, and I can just see from this chat, so many people are here to cheer you on. Also, can I just say that my heart is like just full of so much love right now that your granddaughter is on here. Like Audrey, what her name was. Oh, Audrey, my best friend right now. That's amazing. Okay, well, let's go on to our next amazing awardee for our Sylvia Ronco Innovative Mentor Award. We have Dr. Shannon Stoddard, and we're going to start with two amazing trivia questions as well. So let's get those chats going and the trivia questions up. In 2022, the Sylvia Ronco Innovative Mentor Award was established by a gift from who? If anybody chooses B, Chris Hemsworth, you're now my new best friend. It would be A, Sylvia Ronco herself, B, Chris Hemsworth, C, Research Corporation for Science Advancement, which is RCSA, or D, American Chemical Society, which is ACS. I feel like we don't need to give much time on this because I see all of the answers. So the answer is C. RCSA established this gift to support research within the chemical sciences in honor of CUR's past president and current RCSA Senior Program Director, Sylvia Ronco. We are very, very, very grateful for them. And of course, for Sylvia too. She was amazing. Next question. Dr. Shanna Stoddard is the founding director of the STEM cohort mentoring program at Rhodes College. In what year was this program established? A, 1989, B, 2017, C, 2020, or D, 2007? All right, the answer is, with my dog barking, B, 2017. Currently, 32 scholars have been accepted into 67 STEM graduate and/or professional programs, with 36 program acceptances being at the doctoral level from the first 3 graduating cohorts of 2021, 2022, and 2023 Rhodes classes. That's impressive in itself. Okay, Dr. Stoddard, Associate Professor of Chemistry at Rhodes College in Tennessee, has been selected as the 2023 recipient of the Council on Undergraduate Research's Sylvia Ronco Innovative Mentor Award. Stoddard, who received her Bachelor of Science in Chemistry at Prairie View A&M University and a doctorate in chemistry and biochemistry at the University of Mississippi, continued on with postdoctoral work at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Amongst the many achievements and awards Stoddard has received in her career, in the last 2 years, she has been awarded CUR's Health Sciences Divisional Mentor Award in 2021 and the Henry C. McVeigh Outstanding Teacher Award presented by the National Organization for the Professional Advancement of Black Chemists and Chemical Engineers in 2022. Stoddard is the founding director of the STEM Cohort Mentoring Program at Rhodes College in 2017. Many scholars from the program go on to pursue graduate degrees in STEM, and currently 32 scholars have been accepted into 67 STEM graduate or professional programs, with 36 program acceptances being at the doctoral level in the first 3 graduating cohorts. Let's take a moment to hear a few words from Dr. Stoddard herself on the meaning of accepting this award.
Winning the Sylvia Ronco Innovative Mentor Award was a humbling moment. To even be named in the same conversation with someone like Dr. Sylvia Ronco, who has decades of experience mentoring undergraduate students, has founded undergraduate research programs at institutions, and just done pioneering work with many professional societies leading to innovative ways of promoting science and research, is truly inspiring. We all have those moments where we always remember where we were at that day because something happened that was unforgettable. Winning the Sylvia Ronco Innovative Mentor Award was one of those moments for me. I really feel that research is a way of life that allows scholars to really be able to embark upon a journey that can bring good to the world. I most enjoy that journey when I have students by my side. The opportunity to mentor students, to teach them that it is the scientist that is the connection between science and society, is a truly rewarding experience. I tell my students how well we as scientists translate what we do in the lab makes the difference between advancement or none at all in the lives of people. In the lab, I want my students to develop into independent thinkers, collaborative workers, and creative problem solvers. So I strive to make sure that each of my students has an experience where they will get to make the breakthroughs happen before their eyes. In this way, they can see the power of integrity, questions, proactiveness, time, and writing, which I call the 5 tenets of excellent research. My specific training allows me to reach and train students to become innovators in a myriad of different research agendas of chemistry and biological systems. But in a broad sense, we work in the area of molecular recognition, developing toolkits for scientists to optimize the ability of compounds interacting with each other in ways that allow us to study proteins, design drugs, and engineer biotools. My students and I have pioneered work in computationally predicting extremely large protein structures, such as the thrombospondin type 1 containing domain 7A. They have designed biotools to understand how the kidney functions by creating synthetic binding proteins using protein engineering. Together, my students and I have produced drug compounds that can be used as antivirals to treat COVID, designed anti-cancer agents, and are also working on novel autoimmune disease therapies for diseases like primary membranous nephropathy, celiac, multiple sclerosis, and systemic lupus erythematosus. My students use both experimental and computational tools to tackle our research agendas, and we like being a hybrid lab that does both because it allows us to design and innovate on the computer, but then go and touch those advances with our hands in the lab. I really found a love of chemistry in Dr. Accardi's organic chemistry course at Prairie View A&M University. At Prairie View, I had such an amazing group of supportive professors and research mentors from the very beginning of setting foot on the campus. Dr. Newton and Dr. Salamowit pushed me to take an ownership of the research project and let me get an amazing experience in the lab. In undergrad, my professors not only invested in me, but connected me to opportunities to help me thrive as a scientist. At Rhodes College, I pour into students the things my mentors poured into me. The opportunity to invest in students and create space for them to fall in love with chemistry, to help them make science real so they can fully understand how the scientist is the connection between science and society, and most importantly, catapult them into knowing their purpose is something I plan to never retire from. This award is a moment that really allows me to continue to reflect on how the platform of being a teacher, scholar, mentor, leader has been impactful. And the funds from this award signals the importance of undergraduate research opportunities and affirms the work we do at primary undergraduate institutions in investing in students to become the world's next generation of scholars.
Well, thank you, Dr. Stoddard. I join your sister Serena in saying congratulations. That is simply amazing what you've been able to accomplish already. We're going to move now into our 2023 CUR Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Awardee, who is Dr. John Garrison. We're going to open up again with trivia, so make sure you're ready to answer some trivia questions here. First question is, in what year was the CUR Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Award established? A, 2018, B, 1999, C, 2010, or D, 2015?
Doesn't this music just make you happy?
And the answer is A, 2018. Joyce Kincaid was named a CUR Fellow in 2012 and then went on to endow this award to her division of CUR. And the second question, John Garrison is an American author and scholar of William Shakespeare and Renaissance literature. He claims his writing centers on what three major themes? A, love, peace, and war. B, fantasy, realism, and life. C, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And D, identity, language, and memory. Put your answers into the chat now. Sadly, the answer was not C, it was D. Garrison's writing centers on the themes of identity, language, and memory. His book Glass was one of the first books in the Object Lesson series and explores how material, from mirrors to telescopes to the camera lens, has shaped how humans relate to themselves and to other. Fascinating. Dr. John Garrison is a professor of English at Grinnell College in Iowa and has been selected as the 2023 Council on Undergraduate Research's Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Awardee. The CUR Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Award was established in 2018 through an endowed gift by 2012 CUR Fellow Joyce Kincaid of Utah State University in order to nurture undergraduate research, scholarship, and creative inquiry in the arts and humanities disciplines. Dr. Garrison has mentored a number of undergraduate research students, both in his classroom and through independent research projects, often incorporating on-campus activities with more hands-on, course-embedded research travel. Dr. Garrison finds it deeply rewarding to encourage students' growth through mentorship and to enhance his own understanding of the world through co-exploration of research topics. He has mentored 4 fellows in the Mellon Mays undergraduate program, has 6 publications with students, and continues to look for innovative and ways to involve students further in research. He actively encourages his students to share their own single-authored research from their mentored experiences, and many have presented their findings at various conferences around the globe. Let's take a moment to hear a few words from Dr. Garrison on the meaning of accepting this award.
Hello, my name is John Garrison, and I am a professor of English at Grinnell College. I was so thrilled this year to receive the Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Award. It means so much to me to not only have my own work recognized, but also to have the work of those undergraduate researchers with whom I've worked recognized as well. I'm so inspired by the work that students have done working with me. I love guiding them in finding answers to questions they have about the past and about the world, as well as realizing there are more questions to ask after finding those first answers. I learn so much from them, not only in terms of what they discover, but also in the innovative ways that they go about discovering new information. And in turn, that really improves my teaching. And in fact, a lot of the work I've done with students is to think about how to communicate to the world what we're learning about ways to improve the classroom and ways to galvanize undergraduate research in the classroom. I've been really lucky to publish quite a bit with students. And that's been exciting to me to think about how to help them hone their voices for publication, but also for them to really think about what do they want the world to know about how the classroom could improve and how research could be made more relevant and more exciting in the 21st century. This is especially a complex question and a meaningful question for me as someone who studies Renaissance literature and literature of the past. And I really need students to help me understand how to continually innovate my own teaching and approaches to research. I've been able to co-publish with students on topics ranging from how to teach Hamlet in the classroom to how to think about Latin American film adaptations of Shakespeare's work to how to think about Shakespeare's poetry as it's been adapted in African American contexts. Students are always challenging me to think in new ways and to reimagine how the content that I research, the literature of Shakespeare in the Renaissance period, how that content can be made more and more relevant for questions today. And these kinds of innovations that students have spurred me to think about take place in all kinds of classrooms. They are relevant for the first year classroom, for the senior seminar, and they're also relevant for a lot of the teaching that I do in the prisons and with community groups. In fact, I'm particularly proud of a forthcoming publication that will be co-written with two students, one who is an undergraduate who worked as a writing mentor in one of my classrooms in the prison, so working with the students to improve their writing, as well as one of the students in that prison course on Shakespeare. So those students in co-writing with me are helping me think about how to improve my own teaching in Shakespeare, and particularly how to make it relevant for incarcerated students. It's this kind of new thinking and new energy that students bring to research that in turn brings me new energy and new interest in my work. And receiving this award this year from the Council on Undergraduate Research has really inspired me and energized me to only improve more. So thank you again.
Let's give a round of applause for Dr. Garrison. Congratulations. I also fall into the arts and humanities discipline for the research I did in my undergrad and graduate studies. And it is always so moving to see mentors of anybody, all of our awardees, but especially because it's so close to my heart, mentors from other institutions have an amazing impact on their students, because I know that my mentors in the arts and humanities department throughout my studies were, they're actually still great friends of mine. So I'm sure you are still connected to those students and making an impact every day. So Todd, we were talking about, I was going to take the verbs, you're going to take the nouns. Are we going to do this every other word? How are we going to introduce our favorite boss?
Yeah, well, she is my favorite boss. That is true for sure. Let us introduce now Lindsay Curry, Chief Executive Officer of the Council on Undergraduate Research, to close out our award celebration.
Yes, the one and only who makes us smile every day. And I'm sure all of you have had contact with her throughout each of the years, or if you haven't, I'm sure after this, you're going to definitely report us to her. So we will let her take it away. Lindsay, have at it with your cheers.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth and Todd, and thank you for leading us through a fun and important celebration this afternoon. I don't know about anybody else, but I am leaving both with goosebumps and totally pumped up for the future. Those videos and the work that went behind the videos themselves, but the years of dedication to students and the future just blow me away and are a reminder of why the work we do at the national office is so important. It certainly makes my job being Elizabeth and Todd's boss a little bit easier every day. But to Dr. Fuchs, Dr. Stoddard, Dr. Garrison, to the amazing team at Norwich University, and to our impressive divisional awardees, thank you for your leadership, for your positive impact on the future, and for lighting the way for your colleagues. A round of applause and a huge cheers to you. Thank you. And with that, I hope you all leave inspired and ready to take on tomorrow with the inspiration of all of those awardees today. And have a great afternoon. Thank you for joining us.